Hornets guard Bryce Mcgowens has signed a 4-year, $7.4 million contract, with the Charlotte Hornets. This is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Lamelo Ball, his young core is starting to take shape, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's reporting this. This is being reported by Adrian Wojnarowski. You already know ESPN. This is crazy. Mcgowens was approaching his maximum number of active games and was soon due to become ineligible to play standard NBA games. By signing Mcgowens to a contract, Charlotte's roster now stands at 14 players, and an additional two-way contract space now becomes free. So the Charlotte Hornets, by signing Bryce Mcgowens, they have opened up another two-way contract, that could go to, a multitude of different avenues. We could get into that later. I would love to see, LiAngelo Ball, G3, G Honcho in that seat. But, we'll save that for another topic. But Mcgowens definitely, outplayed his two-way contract, already establishing himself ahead of James Bouknight in the Charlotte's rotation, and that's pretty sad, that has happened. So to sign him to a full 4-year deal with a team option on the final year is a positive outcome, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, it's pretty much they signing him almost like he was a first-round pick. Mcgowens was, I believe, the 40th pick in the draft. He was a second-round pick, ladies and gentlemen. Mcgowens this season, he's been back and forth. He went to the G League, this, that, and the third. This season, he's averaging 4 points, but he's shooting 37% from the field, 36% from three. You clearly see a little bit of potential there, and I think the Hornets are just trying to lock things up. Seriously, it's time to build something, and hopefully these guys could take strides in the next season. Hopefully Mcgowens could be a key guy off the bench or even work his way into the starting role. But what do you do now with the other guys like the, James Bouknights of the world, who he's thoroughly outplayed? This is kind of crazy when you really start to evaluate the situation here. Let me know your thoughts on this situation. Mcgowens clearly has some future, with the team. And me personally, by signing him to this deal with a $7.4 million, to me, you could take this in a multitude of directions. Are they signing him for the future, or have they just signed him to a nice tradable contract? Because the Hornets are going to have options this offseason. You have a bunch of young guys, an array of young talent. You have Lamelo Ball, MB1, the one-of-one. It's only so long these individual accolades are going to continue to accumulate before he says, I'm ready to win for real. And I think it's starting to take shape. You got P.J. Washington. He's coming up. You got to pay him. You got all of these guys, and you got Hayward, all of these veterans playing well to close the stretch. It's giving Charlotte, some problematic, scenarios. They're going to have a top draft pick, obviously. So what do they do with all of this array of assets that they've accumulated? They've even moved guys for assets. So to be honest with you, this is something truly spectacular that Charlotte could really, turn this thing around. I keep telling people all the time that Charlotte is not as bad as people, think that they are. They can really turn things around quicker than you think. They're not the way the record indicates. We all know they were snake bitten. But when you think about the flexibility that the Hornets have, and like I said, I know that people might think it's tripped out. The Hornets have had a disastrous season. I think this is going to be a season to really remember. I think we're done with this. I think we get back to winning after this season, because you see right here, they are a competitive basketball team. They have guys that want to compete and they fight. So I think they just need a nice reset button, and I think they won't be able to get that until next season. And next season, you're going to have, obviously, Lamelo going into a stronger year, looking to dominate furthermore. But now you got guys locked up and feeling very confident. You got possibly PJ coming back on a new deal, making, who knows, 20+ million or somewhere between 18 and 20. I think they're going to make a handshake deal. I do believe PJ wants to stay in Charlotte with Lamelo. I think that's the big domino in all of this. Guys want to play with Melo. Why do you think Bridges hasn't throwing up a whole bunch of mess and a bunch of. They want to get back playing with Lamelo Ball, MB1, the one of one, ladies and gentlemen. So these guys know it's at stake. Terry Rozier, why he not throwing his hands up in the fit trying to leave? They don't want to leave Lamelo, y'all. This is, it just is what it is. But some guys got to go. You know, Kai Jones, these guys are not really doing much. You got Nick Richards here. You know, there's only so many guys they're going to really thoroughly invest in and the young core. You know, it's either you got it or you don't. Who can fit into next season with possibly the #1 overall pick and possibly with Miles Bridges back? You're talking about a playoff caliber basketball team. You have to start putting guys. Let's figure out who on this roster right now. Obviously, the season's a wash. Let's figure out who is going to make the cut. Obviously, Bryce Mcgowens has definitely showed that he's going to make the cut. Mark Williams has shown, obviously, that he's going to make the cut. And these are Hornets draft picks, ladies and gentlemen, and I think that's the most beautiful thing about the situation. It's been a long time where they had some in-house guys that have true potential. Mark Williams drafted in the first round, the 15th overall pick. I mean, this is serious. I mean, just to tell you the truth, you know, my man from the Duke Blue Devils, this is major. You know, Mark Williams is doing his thing. When you just take out, if you just want to remove like Lamelo, obviously he's the big sunshine and all of this, but you see that you have guys at different positions, young guys that's proven to be thoroughly improving game in and game out, and they're going to be players in this league. They have potential. You see the potential of these guys. Now you got to figure out what you're going to do. So you have guys like Mcgowens signed to a nice tradable contract. You have young guys in, like I stated before, you know, all of them. What do? You got picks as well. You know, the Hornets have flexibility. What do? Do they trade this array or do they keep everything in house? You know, and build it. You know, and figure out what's gonna happen. But the problem now is you only have so much a matter of time because you have basically a superstar, you know, that's budding the franchise to move a little forward quicker than I think they would like. You know, that Lamelo is really putting pressure on Charlotte right now, but it seemed like they're investing in-house, you know, but I like that they're investing in the right guys. Mark Williams is a guy to invest in. You move away from Plumlee, you bring him in for extra minutes. Now you got Mcgowens, you know, coming in. I expect Mcgowens to be even more confident. He doesn't go to the G League now, you know, and like I said, this is crazy. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts, man. Charlotte Hornets, man, they're going to continue their dominance, man, and I like what's happening. You know, for Charlotte, they're on a winning streak right now. The sky's the limit. Now it's time to figure out how to get this team to a competitive playoff team looking to take the next step year in and year out. It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what it is. Bryce Mcgowens has inked a 4-year deal with the Charlotte Hornets. Peace and love.